Shwmai croeso, hello and welcome to the Bluebirds Nest, Neath yr Adair Gleision. Episode 7, and I'm delighted to see James Devonald has joined me. James is obviously first team and academy lead goalkeeper coach. James, thanks for your time.
How are you, right? Good to see you, mate.
No worries, thank you. I don't know why I've called you James. I never call you James. You're Devs from affectionately known as Devs at the Bluebirds. So it's been a busy few years for you at the club. Since you've joined, you've supported numerous, you probably keep count in your records and everything, but numerous goalkeepers across the last, is it 5 or 6 years now you've been at the club?
Yeah, so I joined the club in December 2018.
Yeah, just over 4 years then. Okay.
Yeah, going into my 5th season.
How did it come about then? How did you join the club?
At the time, I was working for Carmarthen within the academy structure, and I felt like I was ready to get myself involved in senior football on a coaching level. And I just put a tweet out one day in the middle of December, saying I was looking to get involved with a club within the Welsh League pyramid. And I spoke to Timmy Hicks. Obviously, at the time was a big part of the club. He was still playing, and he was assistant manager to Wolsey at the time. So yeah, a conversation happened. I spoke to Wolsey, obviously spoke to Dave Hughes, the previous chairman. I attended a game at Britain Ferry just before Christmas, and yeah, it was a done deal. From January, I was first team goalkeeper coach at the club.
Haven't looked back.
Well,
no, it's great to see how you've flourished, I suppose, in your role over the last few years. It's your passion. I think it's obvious, to see how much you love football in general, but obviously goalkeeping in particular. And I think that's been seen from wider afield as well, with you picking up additional coaching roles across all of South Wales, with Newport and Swansea City.
Yeah. Initially, I got involved with Swansea City within the development centres across sort of West Wales, Haverfordwest, Carmarthen and Llanelli, working with, specialising with the goalkeepers then within them development centres. That led to another opportunity then within the Swansea City Academy itself, working with the young pre-academy goalkeepers, 6s, 7s and 8s. Yeah, enjoyed it. It was a really good experience. Obviously, an eye-opener into what academy football can be like. And at the start of last season then, which would have been 2021 season, there was an opportunity to go up to Newport and work with the under 18 scholars there for a season. So yeah, a really good experience. A couple of opportunities to work with Jim Holman and the first team goalkeepers within Newport, which was, for me, it was great. Again, an eye opener into what senior football is like at sort of elite level. Then, if you want to put it that way. Finished at Newport at the end of last season. Obviously now, the levels of commitment at Haverfordwest are growing. So yeah, I'm with Haverfordwest. That's my only club, and that's where I'll be for
forever.
For the duration.
No, it's great, and I think what you were humble and modest to say there. You've also had international experience over the last 12 months now.
Yeah, so I was again fortunate enough to be contacted by Jonathan Garcia, actually, who was the academy manager at Carmarthen when I first set out coaching. He's now obviously involved with the Welsh Schools Football Association under 18 international schoolboys. He contacted me at the start of last season about an opportunity to get involved. So spoke to Martin Evans, Mark Lloyd Williams, Juice, and it led to a great opportunity for me last season, which saw us go on to win the Centenary Shield, which is the first time in 40 something years, I think it was. A great opportunity. Playing against England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, the Republic of Ireland. Something totally different, but something that I really enjoyed and look forward to continuing.
Yeah, it's great to see, and I know there's a number of boys from sort of Southwest Wales region that you supported there. Ivan Knott, I know, comes obviously being a goalkeeper. I know you work quite closely with him. He's based in Southwest Wales.
Yeah, Ivan Ivan did very well for us. Did very, very well. He's a good goalkeeper. He's obviously still with Carmarthen. But yeah, a real good opportunity to work with Ivan last year throughout the course of the season. And yeah, there's a lad who I think can probably go on and have a career in the game somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's excellent. From the start, where you've mentioned that you've heavily worked with youngsters in the game, and you've sort of dipped your toe in the water now the last 4 or 5 years in the senior game. What's the difference then? I suppose we see you doing your goalkeeper drills and things like that. You're nurturing and developing skills from a youngster, but then traditionally in the last few years, the first team goalkeepers have all been signed, and I've learned their trade from other clubs, other academy structures, etc. Here in Wales and from abroad, with Wojciech in Poland and Zach coming from New Zealand and that. What's the difference then in how you deal with those keepers?
I mean, working with senior goalkeepers, like you alluded to there, right? It's a lot of them I've learned and developed within other academies or environments. So yeah, working with the senior goalkeepers is more for me. It's about just sort of understanding their backgrounds, understanding that maybe if they were taught or developed at other academies, especially within Europe, that maybe the technicalities of goalkeeping may look slightly different. The game looks slightly different. So it's understanding their background and just continuing really to sort of aid the development in terms of what that might look like in the Welsh game.
Yeah.
Yourself, the game in Wales can be very physical. Especially in comparison to some of the European leagues. So it's just a continuation of the development to allow them to maybe understand how what they do can be more effective for us within the game in Wales.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Looking at the youngsters then, obviously you're pretty much a full-time goalkeeper coach. That is your sort of association with the club, but also the sweeper keeper company that you run.
Yeah.
How many on the books with that? How busy are you with that?
With Sweeper Keeper, it started off very much as a hobby, but it snowballed quite quickly. And I was fortunate enough to be able to make it my full-time career. I've worked with probably, I would say, going into the hundreds now in terms of young goalkeepers from the age of 6, 7, 8 all the way through to senior goalkeepers, at varying different levels. Currently working with, probably about 30 to 35 currently. Again, across all levels from grassroots through to senior at sort of Welsh League level.
Fantastic. And I can put you on the spot now. Any ones to watch? I obviously alluded to that currently the first team goalkeepers, and for a number of years now, have been signed and brought in. Any up-and-coming rising stars that hopefully will make that number 1 jersey their own in years to come?
I mean, within the club, we've got a good caliber of goalkeeper within the club. Few have been recognised and gone on to better things. Few have gone on and come back to us. But yeah, throughout the youth phase, I'd say there's probably 2 or 3 that I would not pin my hat on then, but providing they continue with their development and they continue to want it essentially, then I think there's 2 or 3 within that phase that could kick on and be future first teamers for us. We have got a young lad in the under-8s who's pretty phenomenal at the minute. So it'd be interesting to see how he develops and where his future football career may take him. But yeah, we're fortunate in Pembrokeshire. We've got a lot of talented young footballers, and I think as a club we pride ourselves on trying to get these players certainly through the academy system and into our under-19s and into our first team. And with the current squad consisting of maybe 4 or 5 who've come through that system, I think we've got a good record of achieving that.
Exciting then. Only about 8 or 9 years then to potentially wait around and see that play in particular. No doubt you'll still be at the club.
Mate, I'll be there. I'll be buried in the centre circle.
Some people say you're like a young Mickey Ellis, but we won't go down. Excellent. Thank you for your insight into your role then. We come now to the quick fire questions. Mixed it up a little bit this week. We've had obviously 6 previous episodes that have mainly stayed around the same sort of questions. Mixed it up just for you, Devs. A couple of the same though. Favorite TV program?
Do you know what, right? That was the hardest one of the lot because I don't really watch an awful lot of TV. If I had to pick something, I'd go with like Saturday morning soccer AM.
Oh yeah, old school soccer AM or the
Old school, yeah, old school, yeah. Helen Chamberlain.
Nice. Your favorite film?
Top Gun by a country mile.
The original.
The original, yeah.
Have you seen the new one?
I have. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but yeah, it's not a patch on. It's not a patch on the original.
Okay, I've not seen the new one yet. Okay,
that's worth a watch.
Your favorite music genre or band?
Oh, I went with two here, right? More sort of recently Coldplay, but I was a big fan of REM growing up.
Okay, similar, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I think I know the answer to this one. What other sports do you enjoy either watching or playing?
I play a lot of cricket, actually, believe it or not, in the summer. Obviously, I love playing golf. I'm watching horse racing. I was brought up within a horse racing family, so
okay.
So horse racing is something that I watch religiously, given the opportunity.
Okay, I know you Llandyssil cricket you were with years ago, probably now. Is back still with them?
No, so I'm currently playing for Larne. I started playing cricket for Whitland, and then I moved on to Narberth in the old Pembrokeshire First Division. Then I went up to Llandyssil for a couple of seasons, but now I'm back just playing, as and when I can in the summer. So obviously pre-season and all of that. But so back in Larne now.
I'm assuming wicketkeeper. I don't think you are though.
Yeah, wicketkeeper batsman.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right then, dead or alive, who would you like to have a sit-down meal with?
Dead, I'd go with a few people might not even know this, but Peter O'Sullivan, the ex-horse racing commentator.
Yeah.
Just because I'm sure he's got so many stories from that sort of industry from over the years, and his knowledge on it would be immense. Alive, Rennie Agita. Yeah. That would be an incredible dinner. I think that would be.
Yeah. If he would sit still for long enough.
I just want to know more about that scorpion kick.
Yeah. Okay then. If you could choose your last meal, what would it be?
Cheese, crackers, and red wine.
Interesting. Very sophisticated.
There's a side to me you don't know, right?
Well, this next one I certainly know a lot about. What gets on your nerves the most?
Apart from you?
Steady.
No, I tell you what gets my nerves the most is being late. I hate being late. I more often than not, when on match days or on training nights, I'll be the first to arrive. If I've got to be there at 7 p.m, I'm there at 6:45. It just frustrates me being late, and it's just something that I can't sort of fathom.
Okay, your biggest phobia?
Snakes. Cannot even look at them. Can't look at them on the TV. Can't look at them in Folly Farm.
Brilliant. Right, okay. I'm noting all these down. Now then, this is one that's been online a lot in the last, few months, I suppose. In the world, is there more doors or wheels?
There's got to be more doors. There's got to be. Well, you think of the amount of buildings, I'm talking about, houses, office blocks, shops, garages, and then obviously you've got vehicles and stuff like that, but there's got to be more doors, surely.
When did this? I go with wheels on it. I do.
Yeah.
On
what basis?
All the vehicles, obviously, but then you've got all the Lego toys, all the little kiddies' toys. You've got everyone's got wheels on. Not all of them. You can open the doors on these little toys.
Yeah, I suppose, mate. I suppose.
No, it's a good office debate on that one.
Yeah, that would go on for a while. That
Chinese or Indian?
Chinese all day.
Where the Dragon Pearl in Haverfordwest is an outstanding Chinese.
I tell you where there's an outstanding Chinese, the Lotus Chinese restaurant in Pendine. Lovely restaurant, lovely takeaway, overlooking the sea. Yeah, it's stunning down there. Worth a visit.
Shameless plug there. You be on commission now. Turn up on there. No, I've tweaked this one. Normally, I would ask who, in your opinion, is the greatest of all time, but I've tweaked it. The greatest goalkeeper of all time.
For me, and I've gone more along the lines of my favourite goalkeeper of all time. And again, some people might not even remember this one, especially some of the younger lads. But Gianluca Pagliuca, USA '94, Italy. Yeah, fell in love with goalkeeping watching him.
Okay.
I was 10 at the time, and just sort of starting to play football. And yeah, there was just something about him, he had a bit of an aura. And yeah, he's the one that made me sort of fall in love with goalkeeping.
Okay. Next one now then. I'm interested to see where you go with this. Would you rather see a last-minute penalty save or a last-minute winner?
Is the penalty save to keep the win?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a penalty save all day then.
Okay, so the team is either drawing and is going to score the winner, or the team is winning and is going to concede the penalty to get the draw.
Yeah, save all day long.
Save. Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't be a goalkeeper if I went the other way, would I?
Okay, we'll come on to this weekend's fixture shortly, but it is an away trip with an overnight stay.
Yeah.
Of the squad, who would you least like to room with?
You know the answer to this.
Well, there's a few. I don't know which way you're going to go with it.
There was two. The two that were in my sort of thinking were Henry Jones.
Okay.
And because I just think Henry'd be, when you wake up in the morning and you need to go to the bathroom and etc. I can just imagine Henry being in there for sort of hour and a half, 2 hours. The other one, Jordan Davis, and Jordan pipped it for me. I like to sleep, and I just get not that I know, but I would get the impression that Jordan would be the type that would just love to keep you awake all night long.
Okay. Yeah, all right, fair enough. I can understand your decisions. No, it's not. I thought you would have went down the snoring route to avoid a few snorers in the camp.
To be honest, mate, I think I'm probably one of them. So
yeah. So I've heard.
Yeah.
Your full-time goalkeeping role, if you weren't involved in sport as your profession,
what
would you have liked to have done?
I'd have gone into chefing. I'd have been cooking. That's what I'd be doing now.
Still waiting to sample some of this, man. You've mentioned this many times in the past. Still waiting.
Yeah. So before I was coaching, I worked in numerous kitchens across South and West Wales.
Nice. Now, we've spoken about this off the back of several other episodes. Your pre-match rituals.
So as a player, I had none. Didn't have a single one. But as a coach, I got a pre-match and I got a half-time ritual too. Pre-match, I'll always go out and set the warm-up up for the lads. And I'll leave my gloves out resting on the balls until we go out to do the warm-up. It's just something that I've done ever since getting involved at sort of first team level, and it's just become a habit now, I suppose, more than a ritual. My half-time one is I'll always obviously do the warm-up, and I'll do the first half in boots, but then I'll change into trainers at half-time and come out for the second half in trainers.
When you mentioned that, I couldn't get my head around it, and I still can't get my head around it. Where did that begin then?
I tell you where it came about was actually last season, and Henry's probably the culprit for this one. I bought a new pair of boots going up to Aberystwyth, and Henry's absolutely rinsed me for them. He's on the bench for the first half, and he spent the first 45 minutes rinsing me. So to the point half time, I thought, right, I'm taking them off. So I've gone in half time, I've come out of my trainers, and we've won the game 5-0. So from that moment on, it's just been a thing.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. All right, I'm gonna keep a lookout for that. I've seen the gloves. I've seen the gloves on the ball. We've spoken about that, but I'll be looking to see what footwear is in and out of the dressing room. Now then, you mentioned 2018. It's a number of years ago. There's been lots of highs and lows. on the roller coaster of life at Haverfordwest County. What is the standout moment for you? What's the one occasion you think that was the highlight so far?
The one standout that really sort of always stays with me is Cameron Keach's winner against TNS at home. That's the one that really stands out. There's been a couple of moments. Obviously last year, Idge's penalty save at home against Barry was a standout moment for me. Obviously promotion, Willie's winning up in Bala, but yeah, the one standout would be Keachy racing down the left, and I think it was Danny Williams that played him in. I think, and he's just slotted Harrison to go 2-1 up, celebrated in front of the crowd that was gathered outside the ground at the time. Yeah. So obviously we were under restrictions. Yeah,
it was live in telly. I remember it well.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, yeah, good decision. Now then, final question. Again, this is another one I'm eager to hear your responses. It's the dream team question. Now, it can be staff, coaches, potentially you can stick 5 goalkeepers in there if you want. You don't have to have a goalkeeper, but your dream team, not necessarily the best players, but 5 players, and we need the reasons why you're picking those players too.
Okay, I've got to go with the keeper, and I've gone with a keeper who I think is great with his feet. I was sort of caught between two, because I think we've had, all our goalkeepers are decent with their feet, but I think in a 5-a-side game you've got to be just a little bit more special with your feet. And I was caught between Kel and Absalom and Zach, but I have gone with Zach. I just think within a 5-a-side game he'd be a little bit more, sort of maybe a little bit quicker. I've gone with Jazz for obvious reasons. I mean, we know Jazz is an unreal player. Sheppy, I think Sheppy on the ball is, he can be mustered at times, and we're looking forward to seeing him back within training, within the squad, hopefully over the next couple of weeks. I've gone with my nemesis, Henry Jones. For obvious reasons. I mean, great footballer, and on a small little 5-a-side pitch, I think he'd be unplayable at times. And I've gone with Trundle up top. I don't think anyone could have a 5-a-side team and not include Trundle. I think he'd be pretty special on a 5-a-side pitch.
Yeah, I can imagine during the period of time he was at the club, that must have been quite special to watch. I know I spoke to Forsey in depth about it, and though, as a youngster, he had a season with Hakin in the Pembrokeshire League, and then came to Haverfordwest playing alongside him. He must have learned so much. What did you see from the outside as a member of staff?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to be involved whilst he was there, obviously. It was only a couple of months because it came to the end of the season that he moved on. But yeah, he just had a little bit of an aura about him. I remember going up to Tom Pentry, I think it was a midweeker, Tuesday night or a Wednesday night. And the crowds had just flocked, just to see Trans. And yeah, but he was, a good guy. He wasn't overly sort of, he was quite a quiet guy, to be perfectly honest. But when he got on the pitch, the ball stuck to him, and he attracted 2, 3, 4 players, which then just allowed us then to, obviously give the likes of Forsey, Danny at the time, the freedom to go and exploit gaps maybe that he'd create by, attracting so many players to him and the ball. But yeah, a different level player for me, Trans.
And he's still doing it at Cymru South level.
He's still doing it.
Amford.
Yeah. I know a couple of the lads up there, and they say even now, he's, what is he now, 44 maybe. I hope he's 44, not 43. That one, but yeah, he's still doing it to a level that's, unbelievable, to be fair to him.
Well, fingers crossed we have a Welsh Cup draw. I've spoken to numerous Ammanford supporters, and they're hoping for a trip down West Wales at some point. So maybe we will see him back at the Oggy Bridge Meadow one day. Well, hopefully not. Excellent. Thank you for that. Now comes to the part where we are looking at the Dragon Bet prediction game. Now, as mentioned on previous episodes, the episodes are all sponsored by Dragon Bet, and we have been waiting patiently for the launch of their website that's going to provide us with a lot more opportunities in the JD Cymru League's betting markets. So delighted to say that this week the app and the website has launched. So if you please visit DragonBet across your social media, or just go directly to dragonbet.co.uk, you will find all that you need with the JD Cymru League's betting markets. It is an excellent provision for supporters and followers of football in Wales and other sports to engage with. Now, obviously, we run the Predictions League for the Bluebirds 1899 members. And last week, obviously, due to the postponement of games for obvious reasons, we've rolled it over. And this week, we've got Jason Thomas going again. So he's given us his predictions for this weekend's fixtures, which are for Connors Key to win away 2-0, TNS away win 3-1, for the Bluebirds to win 3-1 away at Carnarvon, Bala 2-1 win away, Pontypridd and Abus to play out a 1-1 draw, and Newtown Penabont also a draw at 2-2. As mentioned on every episode, I think so far, to get involved in this and to become a member of the Haverfordwest County in the Bluebirds 1899 membership scheme, please visit this link on screen, or for those of you listening to the podcast, please visit the social media channels of the club and you'll be able to find the link directly to the sign-up page. Last question for you now then, Devs.
Yeah.
It's your 5th season with the club. Where do you see yourself and the club in another 5 years?
The club for me, as you've seen yourself, right, seems to be going, skyrocketing really in terms of what we're trying to achieve. And I think within 5 years, hopefully we will be where we want to be, which is competing at the top end of the Welsh Premier League, and hopefully in some sort of full-time model. I see myself, being a part of that. It's a hugely exciting time to be involved with Haverfordwest, and that sounds a little bit cliche, I suppose everyone says it, but it really, really is. Rob Edwards and the board, they've got really ambitious plans. With some good people on board now behind the scenes, and 5 years time, I'd like to think that's what we'll be, and hopefully, providing the keepers keep doing their jobs, then I hope we'll be sat in the dugout with whoever it may be at the time.
It's some transition from obviously the time that you joined and the time that I was in the dugout many years ago as well to what it is now. It's like a new club, but it's kept its roots. I think that's been really important. It's still a lot of the same faces volunteering, supporting in a number of different capacities. But it is, and I speak to many people about the club now, about the vision and the Bluebirds project, as it's called, the short, medium and long-term goals, exciting. Coming back then perhaps to the short-term goals, Carnarvon away this weekend. Actually already played them. It's match week 7 and we've already played Carnarvon at home, winning 1-0. Yeah. What's your thoughts going into the game this weekend?
We've been on the back of a tough couple of weeks with injuries and a couple of results maybe that didn't go our way. Confident going up to Carnarvon. Confident we can go up and we can affect the game doing what we do. Obviously we're aware of Carnarvon and what their threats and what their dangers may be. We're confident going up. I take a clean sheet and a 0-0 right now if you offered it to me. But we're going up for 3 points. Fingers crossed the lads can do the business up there, and we'll be coming back on Saturday afternoon with a nice little 3 points and back on the win train is what forces goes.
Love it. And obviously it is a fair trek up to Carnarvon. So if you aren't able to attend the game in person, Tom, as always, will be on the social media duty, providing play-by-play commentary, mainly across the Twitter, but obviously the club social media channels across Instagram and Facebook, etc. Please feel free to give a follow. As mentioned then, best of luck to the boys heading up to Carnarvon this weekend for a 2:30 kickoff and hopefully bringing those 3 points back to Pembrokeshire. Devs, really appreciate your time, mate. I know you're a very busy man. I'll let you get back down to your session. Any sessions the rest of the day now?
Well, I'm always busy, right? I've always got stuff to do.
Good, man. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you all next week.
Top man. Thanks, mate.